Welcome to another episode of Dairy Farm Kind of Life. Thanks for being here. Since we saw you last, we did make it to the beach for a day, which was a lot of fun, and we'll show you more of that later. We've also been having a lot for us, of babies. We've had 4 bull calves and 2 heifer calves, which have all been healthy, so we're very thankful for that. We also still have a number of close-up pregnant cows ready to calve any time now, including 2 cows that are now 6 days overdue, which is quite rare. One of them is pregnant with our first bred beef calf, so we're excited to see that calf when it comes. This is also super exciting for us because these calves that we're having now are from cows that have been bred on our farm rather than Eddy's brother's farm, so we're coming full circle at our place here. But since we're having so many calves, which is not regular for us year-round, we don't really want to invest in more calf hutches because we think they would sit around being unused for potentially years to come until we're having this many calves on a regular basis. So we're kind of juggling calves around to try to fit these ones in.
So I fixed my skid steer window the other day. There's supposed to be a little piece of glass here, smashed out a couple years ago, and I was sick of flies getting in the cab and having to chase them all out in the summertime every time I got into it. So I found a piece of towel, looks pretty sharp on the inside, some duct tape, and yeah, it's a pretty cheap fix.
You see us here getting a super hutch ready to move our twin heifer calves, who are now 5 weeks old, into it while they're still on milk. They'll have another calf joining them in a few weeks, but since they're not on the same weaning schedule, we have to wait until they're all weaned to put them together. Eddy put a strap up in front of the water trough so they don't jump through since they're smaller than usual. These twins have gotten out of their single hutches a number of times now, and they're really more like deer than calves. They seem to have more spunk than usual. We'll likely move the other group of super hutch calves into the heifer barn a bit sooner than we normally would in order to open up some more single hutches in the next week or two. And we'll be selling the bull calves next week, so that'll free up some more space, and we're just trying to make it work.
this hayfield over here quick before we go to the neighbors to check the corn. I got 30 acres at the neighbors that we rent, and it's in corn. You can see it's a little hazy here. In southwestern Ontario, we're getting a lot of smoke from the fires from northern Ontario and Quebec. Northern Quebec, I think. And it's really smoky today. You can smell it. It smells like campfire all day long. Anyways, it's still sunny. The sun's still peering through. So this is the second cut coming through. And boy, is it getting tall. Wow. You can't see it on the camera very well, but up against my leg, it is up to my knee. And for second cut, still the end of June, that's pretty darn good. So yeah, this is going to be an awesome crop. We'll probably take it off a week into July. And then back there, just beyond these couple trees here and here, yeah, there's another 27 acre field. So 27 acres here around the new barn, and then over there. Yeah, that'll be exciting to cut. Sometimes you don't get much rain after first cut. So, you know, the volume can be half of what it probably will be here at the beginning of July if you don't get a lot of rain. But this year it'll be good. I'm over at a friend of mine's that had this pasture field or a hay field that he wanted plowed under, and he wanted me to put corn in it, and I said I'd take it off for silage, and then I think he's going to put it back into grass next year. So I'm just out checking it out, and well, some of the corn looks good, but there's a bunch of corn that's quite a bit shorter. You can kind of see it on the screen. It's just 4 or 5 acres here, but he's close to my place, so it's not a big deal to take it off for corn silage. We'll just do it at the same time as our other stuff. So I don't know why some of this would be a little bit shorter. It's definitely not sprayer tracks or anything. You can see it. So I'll have to talk to the crop guy and see why some of these seeds aren't coming up like the rest. It's almost like they came up later. They're there. If you look right here, they're there. This row, this row, this row, it's all there. It's just short. We'll find out why that is. Talk to the agronomist. All right, so we're at the neighbors where I rent 30 acres. It's right beside our place. You can see the dairy barn through the hazy smoke right there. So it's right along our wheat field. And yeah, this corn's doing awesome. Man, that rain did a lot of good for it. So you can see it's nicely canopying there. Corn's coming together, and when you get that, then the sunlight doesn't reach in between the rows, and the weeds have a hard time growing. So this stuff was sprayed, probably a week or two ago now for weeds, and so that would have killed off whatever came in after the corn was planted, and it should be good to go now. Like, just look at that green and how tall it is. It's maybe it's hard to see, but it's almost up to my waist if you pull the leaves up. So that's good. For the end of June, that is really good. So this is the field I checked just a minute ago at the neighbors here. Now we're driving down his field lane here. It goes down to a nice pond he has at the back of his property. And then there's another field here. So they're both about 15 acres. So that corn looks really good too. You can see that. Here, right about here, there's a wet spot. We had to go around it, and some of the corn isn't doing as well right in there because of that. There's a large spring in there. It just wouldn't dry out. But anyways, besides that, it looks perfect. So I was driving by the wheat field, and I thought we might as well check out that too. So we're just going to show you everything today. Every field. We'll go check the other hay field too now that we're out, since well, I feel like we should just check every field off, and then I can say we checked them. Sometimes I find it tough when you're milking cows. You can see the dairy barn over there. maybe other guys aren't like this, but I find you get busy with stuff around the farm with the cows, and you get guys to plant your crops and spray them, and you kind of count on your agronomist, and I really got to force myself to go out and look at the crops. Or as far as I'm concerned, they're, you know, I can see them from the yard. It looks like they're growing. That's good enough for me. I can't change the weather. But anyways, it's good to check your crops and see how they're doing. And this wheat looks good. Looks really good. So I'm happy with it. So we'll check that one hayfield yet, and then field to check. I wouldn't say it's quite as tall as the field around the new barn there. You can see the barn right there. There's a ditch between this field and that field right here. Big open ditch. So otherwise we'd connect these fields. Yeah, it's still filling in good. And it's growing. But yeah, I wouldn't say it's quite as tall as around the dairy barn, but still good. It'll be a good cut. So that's it. You got the full crop tour, every single field. 2 hay fields, wheat field, bean field, that small 5-acre cornfield, and then 30 acres at the neighbors. So I just popped in the barn here after lunch. I got this fresh heifer. She's been milking for about 3 days maybe that I'm training. So what I do is I fetch them in the morning at 6 o'clock, and then I fetch one like this around 1 o'clock, and then I'll bring her back in at 6 o'clock. And then before you know it, they start going through on their own. But I had to open the gate up a little bit like this. Normally it would be closed. I'll show you what it's like when it's closed. Like that, but when I bring them up into this area, they don't want to go through those saloon gates because the heifers aren't really used to them. So I open it up a little bit, and then she goes in the fetch area, but before you know it, she'll be walking through these saloon gates on her own.
We are heading to the beach, and we're super excited. I'm just packing a lunch for us here, and Eddie's finishing up his chores outside, and then we're gonna head out and we'll bring you along. We're en route to the beach. We got all the kids with us. We're pretty excited. Beautiful day. It's about, what's the temperature? 23 degrees Celsius. So
I think it's supposed to be 26 or 7.
What's going on up here?
Well, what happened?
I think there's an accident, guys.
No.
Ooh.
What?
Wonder how that happened.
We had to make a detour from the accident back there, so Eddie's just figuring out if we need to go back to backtrack or if we can carry on forward.
Oh, I see. So yeah, we're gonna end up going right past Uncle Jeff and Auntie Mom's.
Okay.
No.
We have arrived at the beach.
Ready for the whole day of beaching. Right, guys?
You guys excited?
Yeah.
What do you want to do first?
Eat some food.
Eat some food?
You grab those ones on?
The sun came out. When we got here it was sprinkling a little bit, but the sun is out now. There's some boats on the water. Reminds us of our new favorite YouTube channel, Sailing Zatara.
Did you say our new favorite YouTube channel?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like new
We
as
just
in
got-
like 7 days ago?
We just discovered it. And we're binging it. It's so good. Check it out if you haven't. Anyway, it's a beautiful day here. We're enjoying lots of snacks. I think I brought more snacks here to the beach today than we eat in a year. Thanks for watching and thanks for sticking out to the end. We hope you enjoyed the episode. Thanks for supporting Derry and we hope to see you next time.